Yo, 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 what's going on, everybody? What's going on? Terrahash Tuesday.
Ah!
Oh, and there's Hawk. Look at that. He's getting in it now.
What's up, bro?
What's going on, Hawk? What's going on, man?
Dude, you're like the live streaming king today, bro. You should just be the live stream king. Should just be your name from now on, moving forward.
Dude, I've been at my freaking computer today all day between our meetings and the live streams, dude.
I know.
It's been my home today, so it's been good though, man. It's been I had fun doing the interview with the Ironfish people. I think them being transparent and them coming on the show, you know what I mean, and showing themselves, I think it's gonna put people at ease, man.
I think so. A lot of answers. I only caught about half of it because I was busy with Jet, but it was good, man. You had a lot of people in there. You got like to 80 concurrent viewers, right? So that was pretty good.
Yeah,
right?
it was fun, man. I guess hold on, let me get this generic background music in here. I don't want the silence to disturb Hawk here.
Okay, all right. A little bit.
It's rock. It's what it's labeled as rock.
Hey, man, that's fine if it's what you like. No pressure.
Oh, I mean, I don't really know what else they have in here. What's night driving?
Night driving, chilling.
There you go. You get night driving.
There we go. That's fine with me. Bring it down a tad though. It is a little loud on my end. I don't know if it's loud for you.
Oh, okay. I have my speakers turned down a little bit. So,
yep.
Is that better?
A little bit more because I don't want it to overpower the thing. Perfect. There you go. Yep.
Okay.
There we go. Hell yeah.
Nice. There you go.
Chilling. Oh man, dude. So I picked up a 3090 today off of a trade.
Whoa,
basically
shit.
Brand new.
Dude, you got the good one too. Got
yeah, bro.
Win.
Traded two 3070s for it.
There you go.
The dude actually was like, yeah, I want to get into mining. I have this car, but I heard it's not good. I'm like, hey, I'll give you two 3070. He's like, done. Swap. Well, he barely used it. It's like practically brand new. Barely used it. So,
there you go. Nice, man. Nice.
Yep. Not bad. So gonna get ready to upgrade the PC and stuff, and then got some good things going on. DJ live on Twitch. Oh, DJ's live on Twitch. Is Diablo 4 out already?
No.
It's not out? Okay, because
I don't think so.
He said he was doing like a 24-hour like live stream.
I don't know if I'll do that long, but I'll play with him for most of the day.
Yep. Now I got a 3090, and I ordered that new 7950 X3D.
But you can pre-install the game right now, which I'm going to do, which I'll wait till after the stream's done, but I'm going to pre-install it. So that way, as soon as the day hits, you can start it, so you don't have to wait to download. So that's pretty legit.
Patrick says Thursday, 7 p.m., I think, Hawk. Yeah, I couldn't remember what day he was going to do it. Veteran Miner says, I'll give you an A2000 for the 3090. Ew.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, listen, I mean, a lot of people are talking about, like, let's touch on the proof of useful work for a second. I know this is a hot topic. And by the way, I'm going to get smaller headphones because I feel like a DJ every time I'm live streaming. Let's talk about this because it is important. A lot of people are interested in proof of useful work, and here's what I'm going to say without saying what I'm not supposed to say, I guess is the right. The higher end cards are going to be better. That's it. My opinion, based on the research and what I know, higher end cards are going to be better. Always going to be better. Because I look at it from a play of this.
Well, no, okay, so we're gonna agree to we're gonna agree to disagree on this. I think cards that have high amounts of VRAM will do well no matter what. I think anything at 12 or over will be fine. And then it's gonna depend on the work itself though, right? So we've already heard that from Alex during his stream, as well as from like Jeff Key and stuff like that. It's going to depend on the work itself. Is going to be dependent upon what GPU is going to be best for said work. Now, that being said, I think there's going to be like a budget all around, and I'll be testing several different models out there to see what said best model is.
Right.
But I have a strong hunch of what I think it is. So
here's my thing, right? The way that it was explained to me was that, okay, so let's just say you got a card with 12 gigabits of VRAM, right? Now the door, I'm gonna use it like a kind of like a funnel. Like, all right, here, I'll give you a good example. Your favorite movie, right? 300. Think of
he's
like,
gonna use the hot gates. He's using the hot gates right here.
right. So think of like the lower VRAM cards, like a smaller, more narrow passageway, right? So not so many people can get in, and not so many projects or jobs can get in, right? Because it's only a certain size of a corridor, right? The way it was explained to me was if you go higher and you widen that corridor, you open yourself up to more jobs and possibly more jobs that pay more or pay better, right? Like the better paying jobs might not be on the lower cards, or you may need a substantial amount of them. You know what I mean?
So that this is where it's going to get into like lots of testing, different CPUs, right? Hey, can we get away with V2s instead of V3s? Do we need V3s or V4 Xeons? Do we need Epics? Do we need DDR3 RAM? Do we need DDR4 RAM? How much RAM do we need, right? And then it's going to come down to, this also is going to be like, for the price of a 3090 versus prices of 3060, how many more 3060s can I pull together on the used market? Because they didn't say how it's going to work, but they say you could pool or cluster your resources.
Right.
So
I was talking to this.
Go ahead. I'm saying it might be more beneficial, instead of having one badass card, to have your resources pulled together.
Right. And this is where I kind of regret getting rid of my 3090s now, because I had like 7 of them.
He's like, these things use so much power for mining. They're awful for efficiency. Screw those things. I'm selling.
Yeah, a year later, they're like, we're like scratching at the bits for 3090s, right? Because I think for the price point, if you can get the used market, like a good, like, look, this is used, right? I mean, this is a good GPU. It's practically new, no rust, doesn't look like it hasn't been beat up. I tested it, works fine.
Okay, I was gonna say, did you test it first?
Yeah, I tested it on the on that bench over here. So I switched this up. I put a 3090 in there, and I'm currently mining with it on the Radiant pool that we have, and or you have, excuse me. Honestly, we's too many people. Yeah, but the problem is that motherboard doesn't have ARGB or DRGB or whatever. So I had to buy an adapter, and Mr. Max Voltage actually gave me a recommendation. It came in the mail, so I have to do that. But anyway, yeah, I think 3090s will be the play, man. Especially if you can get them for a cheap price, and you're really keen on it. Like I was talking to Vistang today, bro, and
he's gonna buy 4090s.
Yeah, he just went like, people who don't know Vistang is, it's Mr. GPU Risers. He's just like, you know what, man? I'm like, dude, why don't you just get this card, man? You can get them cheap, like you can get them, or for the price of like 14090, you can, on a good deal, you could probably get 2 3090s, maybe 3 if you get a good deal for the same price, right? I'm like, why don't you just do that? He goes, nah, man, I'm just gonna mortgage the house and just buy 14090s and call it a day. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, why? Like, it's not 4090 and 3090. I mean, what's the big difference, King, from the 4090 to the 3090 as far as compute for proof of useful work?
Oh man, we got to use the power of Google. I don't store all this in my head, by the way.
I know. Well, I think it'd be an interesting topic, because I'm pretty sure there are people out there looking at cards and what is it?
So here we go. We got a 384 bus width on there, 384 bit on the bus. It has 10,496 CUDA cores.
Which one are you talking about? 3090? I'm sorry.
Yeah, 30. This 3090? Is 3090 first. Okay. 24 gigs of GDDR6X. And then the compute power over here on the FP16 half is 35.5 teraflops. And then the FP32 float, which these are probably going to be the most used compute ones. That one's also 35.58 teraflops as well. So those are the numbers you kind of want to look at, are the teraflops and the CUDA cores.
Cool. So what's the major difference between the two?
Okay, now let me Google up the 4090 specs. So, oh wow, okay, that's a lot. There is 6,000 more CUDA cores in the 4090. It has 16,384 CUDA cores, same amount of VRAM on the same bus. It has on the FP16 half, it does 82.58 teraflops, and the FP32 float does 82.5 teraflops as well. So you're getting about, let's see here, how much you're getting about, whoa, that's a lot. Over 50 teraflops, almost 50 teraflops. It's like 49 teraflops more compute power than the 3090.
So would you say it's worth an extra $1,400?
Well, okay, so
they're going for about $650, $700 right now for a 3090 for used market. Sorry, used market.
Okay, so you also have to take account, and this, I can't remember. Do they have different TDPs or are they the same? 4090, I know it's 450. So the TDP on the 3090 is 100 watts off. So you're going to save money there. So actually here, let me bring up my screen here. I'll share my screen. People can just see me scrolling around. I'm just like looking at myself. Where? Premiere. Oh, right. But then hold on. I have to take it to a new window.
Overboard Tech. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. He says my 3090s I sold him are safe and sound.
Yeah, I've seen that. I thought that was funny.
Oh my God. Yes, highlighted miners. What's up, man? Good to see you. We're talking about proof of useful work.
All right. So these are all the specs and stuff like that. You can see 3090, 10,496. 4090 is 16,384. And the teraflop compute, which is pretty important down here. This is what's really important for information, for data. 82.5 on the 4090, and then only 35.5 on here.
Okay, so it is a substantial difference.
Yes,
in the two. But my question is it going to be
price
worth
for the price?
Right, that's the problem. Like, can I go? I mean, yeah, if I get two 3090s, it still doesn't equal to the compute power, right? So, or the data transfer, excuse me. So, but the question's going to be is the market's going to be flooded with these 4090s, man, and the prices are just going to keep going higher because now everybody's going to be buying them. It's just like, what's the better play? I mean, I couldn't pass up the deal for this 3090.
Okay,
so,
well,
I mean, it was
now,
easy,
well, see, then you have to toss in this question though, like, okay, what if somebody like me, and the approach I'm taking on the budget route, right?
Right.
Because look, man, we don't know the answer to any of these questions. Look,
right.
I'm gonna be honest. Hawk and Vistang, they like to take like, hey, we're gonna get the best of the best. I know Hawk's style. That's his style. He's like, hey, do I want the Geo Metro or do I want the Lamborghini? There's not even
a question. If you ever buy me a car, you should be able to walk into the dealership and be like, all right, listen, he wants this. Just give me the best model you guys got on the lot, and then just tell me where to sign, because there's going to be no argument.
Just be, hey, yeah. When he goes there, he's just like, hey, I want you to charge me an extra $5,000 just because I want mine to cost more money. That's Hawk, okay? So that's their approach. I'm going to take a little bit of different approach until we learn more information. Because hey, one, there's no marketplace,
right?
So what if you go buy like a 4 GPU server and you get like 8 4090s and spend like 20 grand? I priced out one of these things. If you build a brand new with 4090s, you're going to spend 20 grand on one rig of 4090s, of 8 4090s.
That's insane.
So what if you built that and it takes you like 6 years or even longer than that to pay it off, because we don't know. And I'm going to say this, like, what if the marketing conditions at first, when they first launch, is saturated because there's so much interest and they don't have that many customers yet, right? So,
well, like you said, I think you made a good point. I think you make a good point when you say, like, nobody knows anything yet. Everybody's kind of just doing this whole like speculation. So I guess the best advice moving forward is, hey, if you can get a good deal, like a 3090 Ti, and you're not going to spend a ton of money. Like, dude, two 3070s I traded for this. Like, they were just sitting there. Like, and I was like, yeah, I'll take it. Because I don't have anywhere to put them. They're just sitting there. They're Asus tough models and whatever. That's a good deal, in my opinion, to trade for a 3090, just to kind of see where it's going to go. You know what I mean? Just my opinion. I mean, a lot of people are going crazy right now. Like, we saw Dan Keller, like, he tweeted that video and he bought all those cards, like I'm just like crazy. Like the market's going to be so saturated, like crazy.
So my approach is going to be I'm buying these cheap workstations to where I could put 2 or 3 GPUs in there, right? To where I'm keeping my cost really, really low. The guy just hit me up again, and I have an opportunity to go get more workstations. They're V2s, but I can get more workstations, right? So I mean, to me, it's just like whatever I make up for in quality, I'm gonna make up in quantity.
In quantity, right?
Yeah, that's gonna be my play.
I mean, listen, if it becomes insanely profitable for proof of useful work and AI stuff, it ain't gonna matter at that point, right? I mean, I remember when Ethereum was still like mineable, like I would just go to Best Buy to pick up something and I just grab a GPU like a 6700 XT and just grab it because at that point it didn't matter because everything was profitable. I
gotta interrupt you. I have to pull a hawk. Okay, I'm sorry.
What do you got?
We got a special guest. I don't know if he's ever joined us. So
it better be Panda.
Terrahash. I don't know if he's ever joined us.
Oh, here Mike? He is. It's Mike. Yeah, it's Mike, 100%.
Look at that. He's so disappointed. He's like, it better be Panda.
What's going on, guys?
Oh my God, Mike, lower the mic and turn your speakers down.
Can I lower him or no?
All right, I got to figure out the audio. Give me 1 second.
Actually, King, you can lower him manually in StreamYard.
There you go. I did. Okay,
right, there we go.
Try that.
Hold on 1 second.
There we go.
No, you're fine. Good. I adjusted.
You're fine. Don't touch nothing. Just don't touch nothing.
It's okay. The sound is coming out of the wrong thing. Hold on.
He's gonna get a blue screen virus.
Grab a Miller Lite. You're okay.
Okay. Now I think I got it good. I watched StreamYard, right? Is that the one I talked to you guys on, or do I do it on YouTube?
No, it's StreamYard. You can close out
StreamYard.
You would put your YouTube up so you can see the comments, but mute it out so it doesn't double play over.
I need multiple screens whether I'm hosting it or not.
No, I put both on one screen and I just make the windows small.
Okay. I heard you guys were talking about graphics cards, so I was like, oh.
Yeah. We were talking about you were thinking about doing a HELOC for some 4090s.
Yeah. No, I think I'm gonna go the 4090 route, or I think 3080 Ti, 3090, and 4090.
Oh well, hold on a second. Okay, all right. I'm about to say but we were just looking at the stats, Mike.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you were watching. A 4090 is almost nearly 3 times the amount of, I guess, for the teraflops for the performance.
It's like double and a half.
Yeah. Well, yeah, kind of. Yeah. So
I don't know, I heard from just around the pond. It's something about tensor cores. Doesn't the 4090 have a lot more of those, or is that?
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's going to be their latest. It's going to be their latest architecture. So it has 512 tensor cores on the 4090 compared to 312.
How much is on the 4090? That's 328. How much is on the
512?
512. So it is substantially better. I mean, but at the price point, I just don't know if it would make financial. I mean, Mike, you're a money guy, right?
It's going to depend from a density perspective.
Yeah, I'm kind of coming from a density perspective, but also, I mean, you got to look at what's the price difference percentage wise on one rig with a 3090 versus one rig with a 4090 on like Vast.ai or something similar. Does it rent out for the same percentage more? Is it comparable?
Well, King brought up this point and he said, well, Vast AI is going to be saturated, man, right?
Oh, and it's already saturated. And I'm going to tell you this right now. I just did a short right before we went live. Hey, that support is dog shit. All right. I said, hey, I don't think the 4070s work on your platform. Okay. Maybe it's a driver issue, right? I tried all these different drivers, not working, right? Could you maybe point me in the right direction? Yeah, go see what it says in Discord.
Yeah.
And all it says in their Discord is what people are saying, like maybe it's not supported. And I'm like, is it not supported? Could you not tell me that directly? Like, yeah, it says you have 4070s here on your platform, but nobody's using it yet. So is it not here yet? They're just, dude, these guys, they're dicks on Vast AI. They're total dicks.
I know it's probably not perfect, but it does give you some kind of price guide on what the demand is and what people are willing to pay.
So yeah, here I'll bring up my
Max Voltage had an interesting question. He said two 4070 Ti's are the same price as a 4090. Would that be more tensor cores?
I don't know.
Hold on. Two 4070 Ti's are the same price, right? But then you're going to have more ribbon cables, or like what, it's going to be. Is it more wattage?
That's kind of what I was thinking. Was like you're already going to be spending a lot of money on like an EPIC CPU, a motherboard, and like it's 128 to 256 gigs of RAM. So
CUDA cores are going to be 2,000 less because this is only 7680 on CUDA cores. The 4090 is 16,000. And then on your tensor cores, your 240, which you would still be less, you would be 480 with 2 compared to 512 with the 4090. And then you'd still be less on the teraflops. You would be at like 80 teraflops versus the 85.58 teraflops. So you would be close, but TDP wise, you're going to be more because you'll be 285 a card, which is going to bring you up to 570 watts compared to the 450, obviously from a single card at the 4090.
Right. It's just nobody knows either. Like Geek of All Trades set it up here, and he's like, everybody needs to calm down and wait for the benchmarks. Basically, is what he's saying. And then Overboard Tech goes, no, it's fear of missing out. And he's not. But it's funny. But he's not wrong. It's fear of missing out. Like people are going to be going crazy, buying up these rigs and GPUs. I'm telling you, watch, the price of the 4090 is just gonna skyrocket even higher. I mean, what is it, $2,200 right now?
No, for one, I mean, 1650, Mike, on Newegg.
1650? What? Yeah, no way, bro.
I do think they came down. Look it up real quick.
No, I'm gonna check. I'm gonna check right now. There's no way.
You should know his haggling skills. If this thing's like, what? That's 2,000. Yeah. Okay, how about I'll give you 1,250 instead of 2,000. eBay fees.
Okay. Yeah.
Delivery.
All right. Yeah. So I mean, if you want to get like an Asus TUF or a Gigabyte, you'll pay 1,700 plus tax. All right, I guess, but
I was kind of thinking of it like, from consolidation. Like if you're only going to have like a server motherboard with, the capability with a single CPU to have like 4 16X lanes, then you can only have 4 GPUs on that rig. You're already paying for the RAM. You're already paying for the CPU. Or motherboard and CPU and RAM. Why, do a bunch of smaller end cards on that?
So, well, depending upon where you're getting your configurations from, right? Yeah, if you're getting cheap workstations, then it might be beneficial to get more cards in play. Because remember, we'll be able to pool and cluster our resources together. But that means that you could too if you had 4090s. But the problem is obviously the cost of your rig compared to the cost of my rig is going to be vastly different, right?
Yeah.
So it'll be much cheaper for me to get online.
Yeah, the pooling's real interesting. I don't know how that's going to work, but
me either. But I'm going to be all about it.
But I mean, just say you could put got a good deal on 3090s. I heard Mike talking about that earlier. If you put that on an older server, wouldn't it be limited by PCIe 3.0 or be limited by the chipset on it? Wouldn't there be like a bottleneck before utilizing the full GPU on that? Or
no, it's going to come down to lanes, as well as like you're going to need so many threads per GPU, right? I think Flux recommended having 4 threads per GPU. So most Xeons, you know what I mean? If you get like a V3, right, you can get up to like, you know what I mean? I think like 14 cores, maybe a little bit higher than that. So having even just a single Xeon in there with 14 cores and 28 threads, that's more than enough to power your GPUs.
Right.
And it also depends on like what type of work you're doing, you know what I mean? And the server configuration and all kinds of other stuff. So
yeah,
I think we're going to get away. Honestly, I think this, we don't have the benchmark yet. We can't say anything for sure, but I think we might even be able to get away with V2 stuff, DDR3. Like we don't need to go epic and go freaking crazy. I'm going, look, Yeah, sure you can get an Epic, get it like a Genoa Epic that's like 10 grand for just the the CPU that has like 96 cores. Yeah, you can go all out, spend like 300 grand and get the best thing on the market. Sure. But I'm trying to figure out what the best price to performance is. You know what I mean? Where does spending money in performance start becoming less and less impactful?
Yeah, I know you were talking about doing a video series on that. That's gonna be really interesting once.
Yeah.
So
this might be a stupid
vast
question.
AI, and this is what I'm talking about. This is my 4070 that's in here.
I'll rent it, King.
It has all the right other information, has the right CPU, threads, RAM, up and down, and then I was just kind of messing around. I opened up 500 ports for this thing because there was people that had like 100. I was like, you know what, I'm gonna beat everybody. I'll open up 500 ports.
Yeah.
So I think people are going to go more for the Founders Edition cards than anything else. Why? I just see that being the hype right now. I mean, MSI $1,800 for a 4090. I mean, I'm looking at all these. They're in stock too, but
or what was that price, real quick, King? That had a price per GPU. Like
I'm gonna load it up. Here it is right now. So you guys want what? 3090s first, or
right there? It's right there. It's right there. There's two on the top.
Yeah, I know, but I'm gonna say if you pick a particular one, the cool thing is though is you can see all the different configurations of the 3090s.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
So this way, like there might be different motherboards. Like this guy, he's on B560 Prime, so it's 11th gen Intel. So he's on consumer grade, and he has 32 gigs of RAM. He has an NVMe. This is his up and down, his ports. His score is a 36.8, right? And this guy is on a Threadripper, which is surprising. Look, that this guy outperformed, right? He's on consumer. This is like, I would say like prosumer. I mean, Threadripper is technically enterprise.
So it looks like they're getting 44 teraflops on the 3090. I think that website said what, 35. So
well, this is their deep learning score, and then this is the teraflops,
right?
And their benchmarking tool does not like go off all the time, and I heard that it's pretty inaccurate. So
Boosted Z06 King asked you if you think that's a driver issue. For the
I did state in the beginning I used several drivers, including the newest one, and downgraded down to 525. I did use a bunch of drivers. They all don't work. I can get the 3060 to work. I can get other GPUs to work in there just fine. It hates the 4070 for whatever reason. We have a guest though, and I think he's a first-time caller. So,
jump change.
What's up, Mr.
Oh, Hugo, what's up, bro? God, I'm 0 for 2 on the guesses tonight.
You're awful.
Yeah, terrible.
Yeah,
what's up, bro?
You're muted right now, Hugo.
Wow, look how he's got like 7 screens back there, bro. That's crazy.
Dude, look at that.
Yeah, sorry about that. How you guys doing?
What's going on, man?
Yeah, talking about some use of proofful work. Proofful work. Good God, can't speak.
We're on Vast AI right now, just kind of looking at the marketplace. And if we come up here to 13090, there's different prices for different things, right? So the base rental is 16 cents, and then you're going to pay a half a cent depending upon how much storage it needs. So it said total an hour is about 16 and a half cents. He's not charging for his internet. So if you come back over to my section, because I have an account here, you come over to my machine, that doesn't pick this up because I don't know what their support's like, but it's not great. You could set an on-demand price, a minimum bid price, what you're going to charge for storage, and what you're going to charge for the internet, right? This is the default. I haven't changed this at all. This is the default configuration that first loads up. So if we go back,
I think also on the front page, King, you can see the average pricing per GPU.
I like this because you can click on it, right? Like a 4090, and then you can see the different scores and variances based. Like, look, This is that motherboard that we were talking about with that EPYC. This is the H12 SSL. This is a 7302 EPYC, right? It has 129 gigs of RAM, NVMe. He has 14090 that's doing 103.2 teraflops, and he has a score of 78.3. Now this guy up here, now look at this. He's on a V3 Xeon, which is like what I have in my workstations, and his score is better by 0.5 for whatever reason, right?
Yeah.
Maybe he has more RAM, or I have no
NVMe
idea.
Faster.
He's got more storage space on his NVMe.
Hugo, I got a question for you real quick.
Shoot.
What do you got going on behind you?
Oh, it's a setup. I run a lot of VMs, do a lot of trading. So I got about 6 monitors behind me, 6 27-inch monitors, running off of two 3090s out of my box. That's right over there.
Oh, nice. Okay. What kind of case is that? I'm actually in the market for a new case.
Oh, what is it called? I can never say it right. Lin L-I-L.
Lee?
Yeah.
Oh, that's the one I'm like literally looking at, the white one. I
think that's what I got.
I think I'm just going to do that.
Derabauer, yeah, XL, the big one.
Yeah. Big fan. Keeps the case a lot cooler with all that.
Oh yeah,
heat going.
Great case.
Yeah.
Mid tower. I want a mid tower, man. I don't want. Mike, what do you have? Your mid tower case, the white one that's really nice.
And it's like a
IED or
micro
something?
ITX. It's a small one. The Corsair.
Okay.
My 3090, I have to like take apart the entire case to get it out. It's awful. Like I'm never gonna do a small case again.
Yeah, I'm gonna go mid tower. I just ordered a
that's
7950 X3D with a new motherboard, 64 gigabits of DDR5, and what else did I get? Oh, one more thing. Hold on. Oh, and I got the EK Nucleus AIO, a gift from Uncle Carmine.
Yeah, nice.
Hey,
This is,
Uncle's like, hey, I didn't get you anything for the baby. He goes, here's my credit card. Keep it under $3,000. I said, all right. So I'm like, King, give me the most expensive things we can find. Just kidding. It was like $1,400.
all right. What you need to do is spend another $1,500 and do hardline water cooling. No, I'm not doing the hardwired water cooling. You're doing all the pipe bending.
No,
I'm
you
just gonna
said you
watch.
would do it for me. No, you said, hey, bro, you buy it, I'll do it. No problem.
That is not what I said.
That's
That
what
is
I
not
heard.
what I said.
I have selective hearing. That's what I heard. So.
Yeah. Oh
So
man.
King, are you still looking at doing any of the EPYC systems?
I mean, I want to try everything. I mean, obviously, I've kind of come into some financial kind of hardships right now. So I have to kind of keep some more things on reserve and not spend as much money. I just don't know if it's necessary. I mean, if we look at, so yeah, we're at Chlor, but let's go back to Vast here. I mean, there's some first, second gen EPYCs, some V3s. You know what I mean? V4s. Look at this. This is a 10th gen. Look at that's a 10th gen i3, and he's at 102. He's not that far down from the guys who are at like 103.7.
Well,
Aren't those all just from the GPU, the teraflops?
Well, yeah, the score you got to look at is the one that's the DLP cache/hour.
No, yeah, the DLP perf. You know what I mean? Yeah, I know you're talking about this perf score. But some of these scores, they don't vary a whole bunch, right? You know what I mean? So it's just like compared to like the V3s, let's find a V3 one here. He's at 80 and a half DLP perf on 14090, right? That's what I got, or V3s. What about, look, here's an EPYC right below it. He's like 2 points higher than the guy with an EPYC. So why am I going to spend extra money on an EPYC? Because I've already priced that out. Like, you're right there on a second gen EPYC, you're looking at least $700 for a CPU and motherboard on the cheap. That doesn't include RAM or anything else, a case or none of that. Yes, Mr. Hawk, you can interrupt me freely.
I don't want to hawk you. Listen, but here's the thing though. Like, I'm gonna refer back to Geek of All Trades. The benchmarks, are they gonna we don't know what's the bench. I'm sorry, back up. I'm trying to rephrase this. What's the benchmark requirement? Like, do they require a certain CPU for Vast AI?
If you watched my video, you just pretty much install Linux and put on a freaking Docker, and then it's there. That's it.
So there's no, they don't. So CPU doesn't matter if you're in the Vast AI marketplace.
I've seen some pretty slow ones on here.
Okay, so then I did see your video. I'm just asking for the sake of conversation for the show.
Yeah.
I want to know if okay, so a Vast AI, it doesn't matter for Vast AI, but it may matter for Flux. And I think everybody needs to keep that in mind. Don't use Vast AI as a what's the word I want to use? Mike, help me out here. Like a foundation for what you think proof of useful work is going to be, because it could be completely different. People could be like, oh yeah, I'm going to load up 4090s for proof of useful work, and then they get there and find out, oh well, I overspent on this CPU, or I underspent, or nobody knows anything yet, right? I mean, I'm just food for thought.
No, right. That's why I'm doing the cheap route for right now. You know what I mean? I got a deal on some V3 workstations for like $40. You know what I mean? And to get a 14 core CPU in there is like $9. It has 14 cores and 28 threads, so it's not a huge spend of money. So until we get even after we get benchmarks, we're still not going to know profitability.
Well, King, if you do decide you want to try it out, I do happen to have an extra Epic board here. I got a lot of Epics. I transfer most of them into cases. So I do have an extra board, and I got a bunch of coolers. You're welcome to have one to try it out. And you actually can keep the board in the cooler.
Hey,
really?
Hey, just
well, okay.
I'm gonna hit you up. No, I'm gonna hit you up.
No, hey, you be quiet over there. I will take it. I will take it, Mr. Hugo Downs.
Oh my God, I'm gonna go raid the GPU Riser's warehouse and see what I can dig up. Mike's got something over there.
If I have to pay for anything, just let me know, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, I want to test a lot of different things, different CPUs, different configurations, different amounts of RAM, right? Different amounts of cores. Like at all this different points. Like, okay, if I spend $200 on RAM, right, for like, we'll say you got a really good deal on 256 gigs, which usually probably costs you like 300. Do I get that much more performance than a 128 gig kit? You know what I mean?
From the other machine learning that I've been doing, and I know it's not all the same because it depends on what they're running. There's different formats that it runs on. Depending on what the work is, will determine on which card and which resources matter. But the thing I've discovered is 4 times the VRAM per card.
Okay, so, that's even what they said as well in their stream. Was if you have a 12 gigabyte card, they recommend 48 gigs of RAM.
Yeah. For each one.
So that could be a problem with the consumer grade boards, right? Because you're not going to get that many cards on a regular. Well, one, you're not going to have that many lanes, right, to support it, as well as consumer grade boards usually don't support more. Some of the higher end ones you could do 256, right? But most of them do about 128.
And then it'll fall back to the processor of what it can handle.
Right.
That's the nice part about the Epics. They can handle up to 1.5 terabytes.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, a lot of RAM. So do you have a game plan, Mr. Hugo Downs, for proof of useful work?
I actually do. I picked up a server I posted in the Discord the other day to join my Epic family in my server room over there.
I like this Epic family.
Yeah. 8 GPU server, can handle a Rome Epic. Already got it in. Had to take apart one of my CPU miners. I got 18 of them running the 7742s. Love Duro, very profitable on the Epics. But I'm putting in the Gigabyte turbos that everyone seems to have forgotten about. The server models, I'm going to test out a couple of V100s I've got because their tensor cores are through the roof and the memory bandwidth is just insane. But at the moment, I'm looking at possibly 2080 Ti's or 3090s, just because that's the highest they go to with the turbos, because they're only a 2-slot, slighter power usage.
I got some 2080 Ti's if you want some.
Are they turbo? Turbos matter because the power ports are in the back.
It's like the blower cards, right?
Yep.
He has the CMP cards.
Well, I have CMP cards too if you want those, but I do have 2080 Ti EVGAs.
Yeah, but that's kind of the game plan. I'm set up. If use of proof of work goes actually really, really well, I'll start converting over the other servers I've got that are just CPU mining into machines. Pretty
nice, very nice.
Yeah,
I seen that's what Chump Change is doing too. He's putting all of his A2000s, you know what I mean, on his CPU mining rigs. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's. I'm gonna say right now, even after the benchmark, I would only use what you have, right? Or what's going to be inexpensive at first because look, even after the benchmark, we're not even going to know how much these things make still, right? You'll have no idea.
Well, that's kind of the part I'm going with the Vast AI. Because if you look at their price list and they compare the other vendors, it's off the main. If you go to their homepage and pricing's at the top, it compares the other vendors. So I'm projecting every price that Flux is going to charge is going to undercut whatever the lowest is by just a little bit.
Right.
But that's still, we also don't know what kind of work Avast AI does. We don't know what machine learning they're actually doing.
Right.
Or who's renting it.
Yeah. And I think it's render. I think what they're doing is rendering.
So speaking of render, you heard of the render token, right?
I have.
So one thing I found out was that J.J. Abrams is actually a founder of the project. Very interesting, because I used this example a lot when it came to rendering for movies and stuff, where like the Interstellar movie, I'm sure you heard me talk about this, like it took like something like 15 or 20 3090s like a week to render that whole thing, and or something like that, something crazy like that. And it's just very funny that he comes out, or he gets onto, if you scroll up, King, you can see JJ Abrams is there. It's just funny that he gets a part of it a little bit more right there. Chairman, CEO. He's you've seen his movies. He did the Star Trek stuff, and he owns Bad Robot. And the fact that he's involved with this makes me really like the render project now, because now we know what they're going to use it for. It's obviously going to be, one of its things going to be movies, right? Think of what was the comparison? The first Transformer movie from the one that's current, I read this, said that it used almost 15 times more memory to render what they did for the latest Transformers movie since the first one. So it's going to get more and more and more as we go. But yeah, I'm sold on render. But you can actually, and I think in a large scale, you can meet up with them or work with them and have your rigs on with them. I mean, they're going to be busy, man. They got a foothold in Hollywood. Yo, that project is in its infancy. Sorry, go ahead.
Do you guys remember right before the Ethereum merge, how all the large GPU farms were talking about pivoting, and they said that they were working into high computing? I wonder if this is one of the projects that they pivoted into. Because render's been around for a little bit. Not a long time. Not financial advice. I do like this token. I remember DJ Mines talking about it, and I started taking a look at it.
This is the case I just ordered too. Let's see, I'm putting it in the chat. Everybody, let me know what you think. This is the case I just got. Lee and Lee, dynamic, white tempered glass. Pretty dope, actually.
That's what that is sitting right over there.
Yep. Yeah, you've motivated me.
Yeah. Great case. I love the fact the power supply is on the back and not the bottom.
Yeah. Ah, dang, I got the white one. The white one's fine. I don't have nothing's really white, but it's all right. Contrast. So, gonna be interesting.
I'll have to maybe check this out and see if I can't get this to work here. So looks like they can do Linux, Windows, or Mac OS. This is their benchmark dually octane bench.
Is that for? I'm sorry. Is that for?
This is for render.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, we should. I think, like I said, you got a foothold in Hollywood, man. It's gonna be huge, and God only knows what they got in the works. You know, I mean, their token. I mean, so from a trading aspect, Hugo, what do you think? I'm sorry if you touched on this. I was distracted. I was ordering the case. What do you think of the price of their token? Do you think they have a lot of room to grow? What do you see as far as trading? You see a lot of manipulation. What do you see?
I see that it's being held down, and there's a lot of room for it to grow.
Really?
Once it's actually realized what it's really going to be for, unfortunately, my thought is there's going to be a lot of engineers that'll end up being put out of work.
Right.
With J.J. Abrams tied to it, it means they've got a direct line into Hollywood.
Right.
So going forward, our movies, our Netflix series, because that's more what we're seeing, is all going to go through this. So
Right.
I would say, yeah, we got a lot of room to grow. Still not financial advice. That's my personal thoughts.
Right. No, of course. Yeah, I know DJ's really hot. He's hot on it. And I went ahead and converted some crypto. You can actually get it on Uphold. I got it on Uphold. It was I just converted, like, I made $100 on Pepe Coin and just converted it all. The cool thing about Uphold that I like is that you don't have to like switch it to anything. They'll auto convert whatever you have into whatever you want. It's actually pretty cool. It's very convenient. So
yeah, that's pretty
just saying.
nice.
Yeah, it is.
Nice.
Now, it does make me think, though, with render becoming prevalent and being used for rendering tasks, it makes me think that Flux's proof of useful work is going to be in the other fields. I don't think they're going to go for rendering.
Really?
Yeah. I'm not saying it couldn't be used for that, but I think they would go for more high computing and problem solving.
I would definitely be interested to seeing how all these other platforms like this Octane, this right here, this is horrible. Regular people are not going to be able to use Fast AI. And then obviously you have Chlor. Now, the one thing about Chlor is they make you give your tax ID. So
yeah, what's up with that?
I don't know. I just put
IRS owns Chlor.
I just put number 1. That's all I put in there. I put 1. I'm the first guy. I'm the first one. All right.
The IRS owns Chlor. Mike, look at Mike.
But
I'll be right back.
So, I mean, and this too, like when you click on this though, this is to me going to be more like for Dockers, because look, it has Hive OS, Dynex, and the meme hash Pepe, and then any Docker. So you just use this to mine from other people right here, or use it for Docker. So the weird part is though, is I know that Retro Mike put some hash rate on our Neoxypool yesterday, right, to beef it up, but he wasn't able to actually change the overclocks. So he rented like 43090s, and they were just like all the way just turned up, dude. You can just see those things just like melting away, just total thermal throttle. So
I haven't even mined Chlor yet.
I mean, I'm thinking about I'm thinking about just getting a small bag and just leaving it there, man. It's just like one of those coins like I don't really believe in, but you have AI buzz, you know what I mean? GPU, you know, you have compute marketplaces. It's following that trend, right? This is the trend we're getting into, you know? So
yeah, no, I agree with that. Like Dynex, kind of the same thing. Still a little wonky. I'm not against them. Definitely got a bag of it. But their explanation seems a little strange.
yeah,
If it's true, then they got a lot of potential. But I'm not doubting it. It's odd. That and the voices always seem like they're robotic in everything they're in.
Maybe it's an AI running the project. Maybe
that would
almost
actually be pretty cool.
That would be pretty cool. That'd be like freaky but cool, like a little bit of both.
Good information here from Metro Mike is Clore blockchain is different from the Clore marketplace. You can't even pay with Clore. So even if you mine Clore, you can't even use their own marketplace to pay for it. You'll receive Clore you could have Clore in your bag, but you can't deposit it. You can only withdraw it. So
sounds like a really useful token.
I'm just like, why wouldn't you make your own? That just tells me how much you believe in it, though, which is why, like, I'm like, I don't know if I want to mine. It's like, if I believed in my token, I would want people to use my token on my platform, right? That's just me, though. So it's just like,
speaking of tokens, before I forget, I don't know if anybody watched my video today, but Rockstar Games is coming out with a token that they're going to be using for the newer Grand Theft Auto. That is actually in the works, but there's been rumored that they're using Bitcoin. What do you think about that, Hugo? You think like a Rockstar releasing a token, integrating it with their games? What do you think?
I guess it depends on the use case.
Right.
Is it they're just releasing it as an NFT to get on the NFT bandwagon, or are they releasing it as, say that you find some club property weapon on the side of the street and it's representing to that? I guess it all depends on how they use it. Right.
Y2K Anonymous says GTA isn't going to do that. No, they released the R-Star. It's called the R-Star. They've talked about putting their token in the game. What they're going to use it for is I'm not sure. Like Hugo said, but the rumor is that they're gonna GTA 6 will have Bitcoin payouts. I don't know. We'll see. Did a video on it just because apparently it's not new news. It's old news, but it resurfaced recently, and there were some articles that were released on it. I know they were making fun of the crypto miners. I know. Yep, I know. They were taking a jab at Bitcoin miners in one of the articles.
So there's a little bit of information from you. I'm sure this is probably from one of the vast AI people that have been kind of watching me. The DL perf is nothing more than an algorithm. It does zero benchmarking.
That's good to know.
I said the vast AI stuff is wonky, man. I'm not lying.
How long have they been around? Do you know?
How long what?
How long? Do you know how long vast AI has been around?
Let me see if they have a thing here at the bottom. This year.
No, that's just their copyright, I think.
Really? But usually... Yeah, okay, well, let's see if they have a...
When was their Twitter created?
See when their Twitter's created.
Well, that's usually a good... Well, I mean, that's usually a good indication. 2018.
Well,
okay, so 2018, the Twitter's created. Let's see how old the GitHub is. Looking for the date.
I mean, regardless, I think Vast.ai shows that there's demand for this, which is nice. I don't think they're going to be a leader, once all these other platforms come out and perfect themselves, but who knows? Maybe they'll.
Right.
I just think it's going to be, honestly, on the contrary, Mike, I think that a lot of people are looking at this and it's are misunderstanding the amount of money they think they're going to make. They're looking at Vast AI. They're like, oh, I'm going to make this. You know what I'm saying, Hugo? Like, I see you nodding over there. Like, they're looking at it going, oh, this is great. I can buy this and I can do this. Little do they know that the minute some, guy comes and spends $1 million on 4090s and floods the network, then what? Don't look at, right. Don't look at Vast AI and think like, oh, we're good. You know what I mean? Like, no. Don't do that. That's wrong. Don't.
No. Yeah, definitely. We don't know what the future holds. And maybe the first year or two for proof of useful work, right? They might need some adoption, right? They could have adoption issues, being the other part of their company is that they're a cryptocurrency, right? So they could have adoption issues, and it might be a slow grow. Who knows? We don't know.
Right.
This is all unknown. But I mean, am I excited that this stuff is coming? Heck yeah, I'm excited. You know what I mean? And I'm excited to start testing out some more computer stuff, man. It's what I live for, dude.
Well, also, with what Hawk said, the other part they're not taking into account is your idle time. Someone has to rent your equipment for you to make any money. So you're burning power just sitting there waiting.
Yeah. When I had the 3060 going for a day and nobody rented it. It was just burning power.
And that's but people get their hopes up, man. I just don't want everybody getting their hopes up. That's all. And then we're gonna have a bunch of 4090s.
You can't have mining scripts in the background though on Vast AI.
Yeah, I'm sure somebody will try to figure it out. But yeah, I mean that's the good thing about proof of useful work, right? Like they've come out and they've said, hey, when it's not being used for a job, you'll be able to mine. The problem is that are you only going to be able to mine Flux, or can you mine something else? So you can.
They said you can mine other coins.
Okay, cool. So that's good though. See that's a game changer in my opinion moving forward, because until AI goes through or the need for it goes through the roof and there's like a ton of demand, which I don't really see happening away.
Essentially, how Jeff Key's always told me is like if HiveOS and NiceHash had a baby. So if they make it so easy for end users where it just automatically auto profit switches and auto tunes your cards like semi decently and takes all the work out of it for like end users, yeah, dude, it's gonna be game changing. 100%. So do I think it's gonna be like that when it first comes out? Probably not, right? There's going to be some iterations and obviously some updates and patches, but I'm excited, dude, because if they can achieve that to where they can do auto profit switching, auto tuning, and you could essentially just leave the rig there and just it's almost like an ASIC at that point, right? As long as it has power and internet, it's going to be doing its work.
Right.
Yeah. So any luck on getting the benchmarking tool yet?
I sent him a message today. Hey, I'll send you a workstation if you give me the tool.
I don't know.
I think the customers, kind of like build it and they'll come type thing. I think there's a lot of demand for compute power from large companies out there, and once it's available and like a streamlined process at competitive prices and decentralized, so you're not harboring any intellectual property or anything like that, I think companies will come in and they'll start using this instead of building out data centers, instead of paying this massive premium that they pay through private data centers, AWS, or any of these avenues. So I think once it's there and built, it's going to take a couple of months, but once it's there, I think companies will come in and start utilizing it. And I think big companies will start taking up big chunks of it. But it's I think DJ Mine said it, it's finding customers. That's going to be the difficulty. It's going to be getting the name out there and saying, hey, we have this product, we have this platform, and it'll work with what you're doing, So, but Flux seems like they're really, on top of their marketing and everything like that. I think once it's built out, and once you get a couple of name brand customers, that's when other people are going to start following. All these companies want the, cheapest, compute power that they can get. So I think they'll start flowing in.
Talking about something that is the opposite of cheap. Have any of you seen NVIDIA's new CPU? They're running on the ARM architecture.
Yeah, I watched this. Yeah, I was Gamers. I think was it Gamers Nexus did a video on it too when they were talking about the keynote. He was making fun of the keynote speech. I did see. Yeah, it's insane. I know the DGX2 was going for like $500,000. That system alone. But what was the price on it?
I don't remember seeing the price for it. Normally, when it's not listed, it's steep.
Yeah, for them it is too. Yeah, they're not afraid to say $500,000 either. So
for real,
it's all right, Hawk. You can buy it, man. Just swipe the card, forget about it. It's okay.
Man, I wish, man. Oh my god.
All right, we got another caller in here. He's a regular.
I'm not guessing this. Oh, Patrick. Gotta be Patrick. Oh, blast. Damn, I'm 0 for 3 tonight. God, that's terrible.
What's up, guys?
What's
How you
up,
doing,
bro?
Wes? How you
What's
doing,
going
man?
on, man?
Oh, man.
Not much. I have a question for you guys. Are any of you into chia?
I
am
do.
not.
I started a chia farm early on, and I do have an evergreen right now. But if you're gonna ask me, am I like an advocate or do I enjoy doing chia? No, but I do know somebody that's local to me that is a viewer who has. I think he's almost there. He's working on it. He's gonna have 5 petabytes on chia.
Wow.
Yeah, oh yeah, he has a big farm.
Wow. Yeah, I saw some videos on YouTube with guys who have like racks in their garage and stuff.
That's
Crazy
essentially
stuff.
if you want to do it. Yeah, the enclosures he's using are like 60 drive bays.
Oh my
So
god. Are SSDs good for it, or is it more hard drive?
no, you use just regular hard drives. I think now, and at least from what he's been telling me, because I'm kind of out of the chia game. Because back then you would plot to an SSD, and then from the SSD it would go to your spinning Rust. But now they started plotting with memory, and now it's moving to GPUs that they're plotting with now. So they're plotting plots in minutes now instead of hours. So I think you plot with GPUs, and they still put it on the spinning Rust. Because once the plot is made, it doesn't really need a lot of actual read and write or anything like that. It's the initial plotting that needs to be done.
Would there be any benefit to having like a NVMe M2 array?
No.
Okay. I was just wondering because.
No.
Okay.
Hey, King.
No.
Real quick, because you have the vertical mount for the GPU for the Lian Li case. Again, I'm not the super technical guy. It's a PCI 3.0 or 4.0.
They make 2 different versions.
Oh, which one do I get?
Get the 4.0.
That's what I thought. Okay,
That's cool.
got it.
Mr.
continue.
Crypto Perks
Or the
is
5.0.
and Hugo, if you need a lead, man, you just let me know, man.
Yeah, I got to head out. I had to turn off my AC. And I tell you what, the server room is roasting.
It's getting hot back there, I bet, huh? Well, hey, man,
bit.
I appreciate the epic stuff, dude. That's amazing, man.
I'll shoot you a DM on Discord. Just tell me where I'm sending it, and I'll send you some stuff.
Hey, man, I appreciate that, dude. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Hey, you have a good night, Hugo.
Yeah. You
Have
too.
a good night.
Peace.
We have a question from Mr. Crypto Perks who says, Money King, is WordPress at a beta yet? As far as I know, the last time we had Jeff Key in here, I still think it is in beta.
It's almost done, he said, I think.
Yeah, it's not out of beta yet, so they're still ironing out some bugs, but that's a big step too. And I think if you look at it from a bigger picture, I mean, WordPress is like, like 60% of the internet, you know what I mean? So even if Flux gets a small percentage of that 60%, right, that's a lot of customers, right? So that's a lot of
100%.
revenue.
100%.
Oh, okay. This is your last time to get somebody right, okay? I think you have another guest. He's still loading in.
It's probably Patrick Guyan.
Okay, that's
Gotta
not
be.
fair because that's who you guys last time, but
Oh,
that's not fair. You just got it because you kept guessing so many names. Okay, so
well,
that's what you got.
you said like someone who's never been here before, and I'm like, I don't know, never thought. I'm just.
Hey, next time I'm gonna troll you, and I'll just say, hey, he's red and furry or something like that, right?
Yeah, that's it, right. Now I'm not gonna believe you. So go ahead.
What's up, Patrick?
Not much, guys. How you fellas doing tonight?
We're doing good. Checking out some server stuff, checking out 4090s. You know how it is. Patrick, he's been diving really deep, watching some deep learning videos. I know that, and really learning about some of this. So, Patrick, what's your take on this? 4090s, 3090s, 4070 Ti's, 3060s. What do you think, man?
Well, I have a 30-minute conversation on various AI strategies, deep learning training, and everything else as far as hardware, software, and contingencies go. And I'm looking forward to having somebody to break that down with me over a very long episode, because it's not like a little 2-minute blurb.
All right.
I actually just ordered a Google Coral. Have you ever heard of it?
A what?
Google Coral. It's
I don't know what that is.
TPU. Do you know what a TPU is?
A TPU?
Tensor Processing Unit. It's like a Google-made special chip for doing AI applications.
Really?
You can hook it up to a Raspberry Pi and do AI on it.
What's that in comparison to like a?
What's that?
What's that in comparison to like a 4090? What's the performance
Well,
comparison?
4090 would be faster. It's just like it lets you do AI like anywhere because it's a portable little. You can power it by a battery, you know.
Yeah,
Okay.
so it's not going to have any useful teraflops other than just like, well, it's a toy to play with instead of actually plugging in a video card.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
What's the price point?
I got it for 120. It just went up to 140 on Amazon. Google released it at 60, but people are bidding it up.
So how many, do you know any of the specs about the tensor cores?
Not off the top of my head. Let me Google it real quick.
Hold on, I'm trying to.
I just got to know. I'm transferring Bitcoin from one wallet to another, and I just got a message saying the Bitcoin network was congested. Who's releasing another NFT on the fucking Bitcoin network?
Ordinals.
Look at your mining profitability if you have a Bitcoin. Look at your mining profitability. Probably up. It's congested. Turn your S19s on. Fucking help me transfer this this Bitcoin.
I put Google Coral in there, but I mean I see some like stuff about it like coming out and stuff like that, but I have not seen like the actual specifications.
It's coral.ai is the website.
So I'd be curious to know like what the memory bandwidth is, the CUDA version, the tensor core count,
It
how
runs
much memory's on it.
TensorFlow Lite. It can only run TensorFlow Lite.
So it's a very low CUDA version then.
So
Yeah,
there's the
sure
did you get the dev board blast mining?
The USB accelerator for my Raspberry Pi.
The USB accelerator.
Coral.ai/product/accelerator is the URL.
Yeah, I'm looking at it. Yeah, it says because they're measuring it in its own, and they just say 4 trillion operations or tera operations per second.
Okay, so it's doing 4 teraflops. So that's about half. No, that's about a third of the speed of a 3070 as far as 32-bit floats go.
Yeah,
but it draws much less power.
It's using I think using 0.5 watts for each, so it's using 2 watts for the 4 teraflops.
So real quick, Mr. Jeff Key just messaged me and said that I had a conversation with me, him, and Alex from Flux, and he said that I can go ahead and share the conversation. Or do
Never shared it with me.
I did send it to you, Tommy.
Oh, you did?
Yes, I did.
Oh, right.
Oh, Hawk's not an asshole. Right.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
Wait, when did that happen?
oh God, it's gonna snow.
Yeah.
So Jeff Key, I'm actually gonna do both. I'll show them. I'll share some information, and then I'll do that too at Mining Disrupt. That's gonna be fun. So let me go to my conversation. If I can find it. Here it is. Okay.
I think it's good from a compute standpoint, though. That's an accelerator, though. That's not like the actual. So you would need to pair this with a Raspberry Pi.
Yeah, I have a Model 3B.
And then that's gonna come down to how many CPU cores and how much memory you have, right? So that's going to be pretty low.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get a better Raspberry Pi.
So he gave me this explanation. If you guys are doing something, I don't want to interrupt because this is gonna take me a second to read. So just let you know. He gave me
you want me to share my screen on Discord?
Well, here, just if you want to just
here, I'll copy what you sent me.
Well, there's this whole. Did you get a few field of applications of ML, DL, and AI? Did you get that? Did you get that one? If you didn't, I'll just recopy it and send it to you. Because it's actually
I don't
here.
Yeah, I got that. A few. Yeah, here's from Flux.
There it is. I just sent it again just in case. Because I asked him, like I had a lot of questions about like how you gonna figure out what is what, and what's gonna be good to get, and no, well, hold on. So Mr. Jeff Key, this is what I'm gonna share. Hold on. I think this is enough information because it's just he gives like some examples of field applications and like what would be required for what. And it gives
Everyone
you like
get eBay open.
Yeah, everybody's got eBay open, ready to go. But it's cool because he touches on a lot of the cards that we all have.
Oh, don't worry. I already bought a bunch of cards now that I knew this information last night.
I'm gonna see if my choice card is on the list there.
So,
this thing is really blown up. There we go. Okay, you ready?
Hold on.
Are we good? Are we good to share this? Is it approved? I don't want to take the heat for this. Okay.
Hold on. I'm not sure what he's. It's so hard to tell context over a message. Like, hold on. Wow, that didn't happen.
Yeah, by the way, too, I posted in the King's Corner because I copied and pasted earlier, but Flux is having another AMA this Saturday, and it looks like they're going to be talking about proof of useful work. And is it going to be the next parallel asset, Jeff Key, I read?
Hey, Mike, real quick, while I'm finding out, can you check your Discord real quick?
Yeah.
Yeah, here's the link to that, too. I'll put it here in the YouTube. This is on Saturday. And I'm sure it's probably at 9 a.m. Eastern. You guys are so awesome. It's like 6 a.m. my time.
Oh no, Jeffkey, I'm not going to show the conversation. I'm just going to show what I sent you. That brief excerpt of the conversation. Okay. Well, he said don't show the conversation, so I guess you could just show what we have, what I just sent you. Just that I sent him a copy of what I want to show. So, just basically what's here. So, yeah, go ahead. I mean, it's pretty much what we talked about anyway. It's not really anything it's not giving away anything. So,
all right, Jeff, you heard it. If you need to yell at somebody, it's Hawk, okay?
So, he did explain like as far as like what different jobs would be. He said one thing he says is keep in mind for all tensor cores are useful for faster training and inference. So more computation speed gets you less waiting for that batch if running on only hardware. You distribute it, we can get the work done fast. Mm-hmm. So what is it? Object detection, speech recognition, medical imaging. So this is why when I was telling you that just get the higher end card so you can qualify for all of it. This is just a few applications for ML, DL, and AI. It'd be interesting to see. So I don't know if you want to read it, King, or you want me to read it, or
no? You're a great speaker. I was going to let you read it.
Hold on, Mike. Did that ever go out?
No, it's
okay.
It's on there now.
All right. Okay. Okay, so I'll read through this real quick. So
hold on. Jeff Key, if you want to join in, go ahead, man. Feel free. Link's posted up top. Maybe Jeff Key could
drop out of here. I can drop out.
It's up to you,
can
man.
hang out as much as you'd like, or
I'll
you
make
can
room
drop
for
out.
Jeff K. It's cool.
All right.
So,
well, thank you, Blast.
Yeah.
Appreciate it, man. You have a great night, man.
Yeah, you too, guys.
check you later, man.
Take care, my brother. So
So the text is hard for me to read because I'm on my phone. Now, do they make mentions of transformers in there?
no, this is a very just like application just to kind of give me an understanding. Like I told him to talk to me as if he was a 5-year-old. So I'll read through this. It's going to be like a minute or two read. It says a few field applications of ML, DL, and AI, image classification, memory impotent with high res images or batch sizes using CNN architecture. I'd say 3060 12 gig good price performance or 3070. Natural language processing, critical to have a lot of memory, recommends, 3090. This was just for me to get an understanding of what, like how it works as far as processing goes. Jeff, you read that conversation I sent, right? That part of the conversation? Did you see that part of the conversation?
No, not yet.
I sent
Let
it
me
to
have
you
a
in
look.
Discord. It's in Discord. I sent it to him in Discord. Anyway, so it just kind of tells you. There's really no secrets here. It kind of just tells you like. It says I was using BERT in 2018 with transformers for clinical trial assessments with my two 2080 Ti's, 11 gig each, and I was always facing CUDA out of memory error. Pretty annoying, but I got it to work by using a smaller batch size, smaller chunks of data of each iteration. But by doing so, I would lose a bit in its capacity to generalize and understand.
The reason I
That's
allowed you to share all of this, by the way, Mike, was purely because just to showcase what this guy is talking about, right? He knows what he's doing.
Right.
He has the experience. And you're showing your butt to everybody. Turn around.
There you go. Yeah, no, this was just a brief understanding of like what processes in AI.
Like an hour conversation. This is a snippet out of it.
Right. This is a snippet out of an hour conversation, and this is just to kind of understand like what certain applications would require based on his testing and his experience, which I found to be interesting. So like for object detection, same to image classifications can be high memory for high res images, videos depends on use case. Here, high image quality and videos, for example, I'd say 3060 12 gig, good price for performance or 3070. I'll read the natural language processing, critical to have a lot of memory. I'd recommend a 3090. I was using BERT in 2018 with transformers for clinical trial assessments with my two 2080 Ti's, and I was always facing CUDA out of memory errors. Pretty annoying, but I got it to work by using smaller batch sizes, smaller chunks of data of each iteration. But by doing so, I would lose a bit in its capacity to generalize and understand. So for natural language processing, he was using two 2080 Ti's with 22 gigs of VRAM combined, and it wasn't enough. He recommended a 3090. But for speech recognition, it's a little different. He goes basically a combination of deep learning and NLP, but requires less memory as image or NLP tasks, same as previous 3060 12 gigabit, good performance price ratio. Medical imaging, 3D models, very large memory required, high computational power, so you don't have to wait for days to complete. 3080, 3090 would be good price per performance ratio, mostly 3090 though. Keep in mind for all of this, tensor cores are useful for faster training and inference, so more computational speed gets you less waiting for that batch if running only on that hardware. If you distribute it, we can get the work done fast. But I brought up these examples to show that it depends on the use case, but also depends on your clients. You being a provider for compute resources, trying to identify the segment you want to provide to. Try to identify the segment you want to provide to. Okay, excuse me. Each segment will have its own needs. The best configuration overall doesn't exist. That's why we have ASICs and crypto mining, because they do the best for that algo and only that algo. this was a good part of the conversation to get to, because it brings everybody back down to earth a little bit about this buying sprees of all these cards and everything else. Like, right? You know what I'm saying? So,
this is the reason why we have not said buy this card, buy that card, buy this setup, buy that setup.
Right.
It all varies, right? So we've done our research.
Right, 100%. So it's really going to depend on, what's going to be. I know you're seeing 3060 12 gigabit a lot, and for 2 or 3 of the applications just in this little essay here, 3060 is a good price for performance ratio for what you get. But I can't imagine you're going to be doing any medical imaging or anything that's going to pay a lot more. Go ahead, King.
But and Jeff can correct me if I'm wrong, but we would having you said that we're going to be able to either pool or cluster our resources so we could still have just as much or even more compute power than the 3090s, right? If we had enough 3060s.
Yeah, but that was not part of this conversation.
Well, I will say that
there's a lot more to it, right? So this, like I said, this was an hour-long conversation that we were having.
Right.
This is just a snippet. I allowed Mike to share this now just because of just to showcase that I see a lot of conversations happening. Like, what's the best card that I need to have? How is this card? How is that card? This coin is doing it this way. This coin is doing it that way. We're showcasing here is that we've thought of all of these cases, right? So we're making it so that it's all available. So that's the difference. I don't know if you guys can actually hear me properly. I'm sitting outside here.
Yeah.
No, we can hear you good.
Yep.
So, well, Patrick, what were you going to say? Because you were touching on something.
Yeah. So for deep learning, for example, right? Just speaking very generally.
Which
now,
deep
that's not
learning? What type of modeling?
I'm speaking very generally.
So deep learning in general, okay?
Yeah. So whatever it is that you're training your models on, this is almost always done within one entire rig. Rarely is it done within multiple rigs. Because what happens is when you're having to run all the tasks in parallel.
Patrick, that's not true. Deep learning.
Okay.
Your creation of your model is done on one rig. Your first iteration is done on one rig. But once you have your iteration done, you want to have it done as fast as you can with a lot of data as fast as you can. Then you want to spread it out to a lot of clusters or machines.
Right. And the ones that I had seen that did that weren't like, they just had basic network cards in them, right? So the interfaces between them and the other machines there were 50 to 200 gigabits. So this is not consumer grade hardware in order to run the interconnects in between them. So I'm trying to speak more generally on what we're going to be able to set up at our house with just available infrastructure.
I'm setting my stuff up with a switch of 100 gig and then connect everything with 10 gig connections. I'm being tracked already.
Watch out.
Hey, Dan's flying in.
Yeah, Dan's landing in the helicopter.
Oh man, thanks for being a member. Travelers Travels for 6 months. I just turned on my T15 Bitcoin ASIC. Right on, man. Right
it says congested, not enough miners on the network.
He's trying to help you out.
We're all gonna learn with AI and the useful work, right? It's not just AI; it's rendering and other things as well. We're gonna learn. It's gonna relearn mining again, right? That's gonna be the fun part. Like everybody will have their use case. Everybody will. Certain types will be good. Certain cards will be good. Other cards will not be as good. So it's gonna be fun. I'm looking forward to it. I'm getting ready. I know Dan's getting ready. I bought 6 A4000s last night.
So that's that looks like that's the midpoint card right there, because you're going to get your best value with a usable amount of memory, right kind of in the middle as far as what we're able to pick up.
Everything's gonna start to heat up now, man. Everybody's gonna be doing very innovative cooling things. So Geek of All Trades says, how much bandwidth is going to be required for proof of useful work? I don't think we have that answer yet. The birds chirping the birds chirping, I think, gave the answer, honestly.
Yeah.
It's like crickets, but during the day.
It's like crickets, but during the day. I like that. That's funny.
What do you think? Can we say anything on what the bandwidth requirements are going to be to benchmark? I know we've talked about it, but I'm not going to say anything.
No, I'm not talking about that just yet.
Yeah, and guys, like everybody on the chat right now, like understand that
everybody's
these guys
listening,
are
right?
Huh?
Everybody's listening, including
so.
other coins and all that. So I have to be careful what I share.
Yeah, of course. This is a delicate situation for Flux. Okay, like because you got a lot of competition coming out, and you got to get this right, rolling it out. So we give you little bits here and there because we're Flux Labs partners, so we're privy to the little bits that they get. But even sometimes there's things that I could ask Jeffkey one-on-one and he won't say anything because they really do play it close to the chest, and they got to get it right the first time. You got to get it right the first time. The market is going to be, everybody's going to want to jump on the bandwagon. There's going to be tons of companies, tons of projects. So he wants to tell you. I could see his vein in his neck twitching a little. Like he wants to tell you, but it can change. Is the thing? It can always change. Things are constantly evolving. So I want to know. But nobody can. Nobody knows, and there's only a select people know.
I'll give you. I'll invite you to Mining Disrupt, and I'll have you sit with Alex for like a half an hour to an hour. How about that? And you ask him anything.
Yeah. For an interview? Absolutely.
You do that.
Absolutely. 150%.
Unsupervised. You
unsupervised.
You.
Unsupervised. Well, got it. Of course he picks the less technical guy. He picks the less technical guy to do the interview because he probably knows I'm not going to ask any hard questions.
You don't want to leave.
I'll be drinking, so I won't be supervising. That's why.
I can't wait for Mining Disrupt, man. That's it's next month, July 25th, 27th. It's gonna be fun. Mining Disrupt's gonna be fun, but look, a lot of talk with AI, a lot of projects, and when there's a lot of competition like this, a lot of people are gonna keep things close to the chest. It's just what it is. But I think we're gonna see some great innovation moving forward in the next 2 to 3 years with what these projects are doing. So just my opinion. Geek of All Trades says, Hawk Crypto, you can wear an earpiece with King and myself in your ear. Oh, for asking questions?
We'll guide you on the questions, okay?
Exactly right, yeah. Yeah. It's gonna be big.
If he's a Mining Disrupt, he can come and ask himself.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
So it's gonna be big, man.
Hawk's been bugging me to come down there, but
I told him I got the hotel already, man. We're good to go. Like it's only I really don't need a hotel because it's only an hour drive, but it's whatever.
Isn't it in Fort Lauderdale, right?
That's for FluxCon. Mining Disrupt is in Miami.
Oh.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we sorted out those tickets for last stream, right? That was all.
I don't know if I have you in the chat with them. I don't know if you what the update was.
There.
Yeah, we did. We got those people. We gave away 2 tickets on the live stream the other night. That was fun. Thank you for that. So yeah, we'll see what happens. I wonder if Mining Disrupt's going to be busy. I wonder if it's going to be because in the state of mining right now, it's not great for certain. But it's better than we thought it was going to be, right? Can we at least say that, King? Like we thought it was going to be years.
I didn't think it was going to be years. That's some other people talking. I knew that it was going to get pretty bad, which it got bad for the first few months, right? And then towards the end to the beginning of the year, we've seen some of these newer coins coming out, Nexa and Radiant and all these other newer coins start popping off, creating mild profitability depending upon obviously your electric rate. You know what I mean? If you're like at 20 cents, you're just screwed right now. It doesn't matter. But yeah, it was nice to see. Right now, profitability has kind of dipped back down again, though. So it is a little bit of a struggle depending upon what you're paying for electricity. But people are still mining, man. There's still lots of hash rate out there. You know what I mean? On all the platforms. So I think there's people out there that are just going to support the projects, regardless of profitability. I mean, look, Jeff Key still has his 580s on or whatever.
Still mining.
Crypto Craig with the $23.45 super chat says, King, Epic, and Starbucks fund.
Oh, I need it, man. Yeah. I've had an unfortunate turn of financial events. So yeah, definitely need that. So appreciate it, Craig. I will be sure to get a Starbucks. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Well, what do you? I know you guys got a stream coming up this Saturday, right? Are you going to be there, Jeff Key?
It's an AMA, so it's me and Dan. So yeah.
Okay, nice. Looks like you guys are going to go over the new parallel asset and some more proof of useful work stuff.
So definitely going to release the parallel asset. That was part of quarter 2, and I know people have been waiting for it. So we're definitely releasing that. We'll touch base on proof of useful work. We'll touch base on mining disrupts. We'll touch base on cypherpunk. Probably release 1 or 2 names for cypherpunk that people that will be joining us as speakers. Maybe I'll have the DJ name as well for the after party. It's kind of a big name. Couple big names that we're talking with, so but not disclosing anything just yet. Sorry.
Flux after party. All right.
Well,
I'll
Cypherpunk is not going to be your traditional trading show kind of conference, right? So so a lot of the networking that happened, like let's say at Bitcoin Miami and Mike, I took you to one of those meetings as well. A lot of them is happening in a behind the scenes kind of thing, and we want to get that feeling like you're behind the scenes kind of talking with myself, with Dan, with Alex, all personal one-on-one. So we want to give you that experience and have a drink. There's bars everywhere, left and right. So it's going to be pretty cool, actually. It's not going to be your traditional trade show. It's going to be more in person. 2-day after party, basically.
So excited.
Plus after party.
Plus another after party. Yeah.
Nice. I'm wearing one of the shirts right here, the USDC shirt that I took from that meeting.
Thank you, Retro Mike, for the gift in the 5 members, man. Congratulations to Diesel and Boosted, Tanes, Z06, and New England Crypto. You guys are new members. Make sure to link your YouTube and your Discord. And that way you guys could be, get access to the Kingsman Discord channel. And thank you, Mr. Veteran Miner. So King will go to Mining Disrupt. It's a start. He really wants me to go to Mining Disrupt and have a beer with him, man, and have a drink with him. So I'll probably have to go. I'll have to find some way to drum up some money and make the flight out there. I'm definitely not doing the drive, though. I will.
Why not?
Never do that drive again. That was so long.
I thought you were
from
crazy Arizona, to do that, man. Or wherever
what was that, Jeff?
You drove all the way from
Arizona to Florida.
I thought he was crazy. I'm like,
that's
dude,
like
just
30,
fly. Like
34 hours on the road.
Oh my god, that's awful.
Yeah.
Like 17 hours a day.
Great litter box back there, man. I mean, that's a better background.
I told you I can get Mike. I got a $50 coupon for the litter robot. You save $50, and then I know a guy who can get you a cat for $50.
I go get one for free. Fort Lauderdale, there's 100 running around.
Mike has the best. He has the best backgrounds. I'm sorry, he does. Look, it's either the all white wall or the litter box in the corner. I love it.
All right, I'm going to design him a background.
Angle, right?
Yeah, the camera angle is a lot better because you don't get the window and the litter box.
Yeah.
But now it's just a litter box, and then we're gonna put some lights, and it's gonna be the lights and the litter box.
I was
You
thinking of
gotta
just
put an
putting,
LED
like,
in the litter box.
yeah,
Right.
I was thinking of just putting like Christmas lights over the litter box.
Yeah, that'd be
like a little
that'd be
Christmas
titty.
Oh.
back there. Festive.
100%.
But well, I'm gonna hop off, guys. Thanks for having me. I'll let you
All right.
guys.
Thanks
I'll
for
see you
hanging
guys
out.
in.
It's past your bedtime, I know.
Yeah, I know. I'm exhausted.
I have the
Good to
same.
see you, Jeffy. And I'm sure I'll talk to King and Hawk in 30 minutes. So, all right, guys.
Later.
see you guys
Have a
later.
good night.
Yeah.
Later, bro.
Well, man, we've been going for a while, Mr. Hawk. I mean, is there anything more you want to add, man? We're almost at the 2-hour mark. We're at an hour.
Well,
40.
guys, thank you so much for coming to Terrahash Tuesday. I appreciate it. I'm your
We're
host,
closing it out.
Hawk Crypto Mining. This is the Mining King, Mr. Jeff Key, always giving the best information and little crumbs of the large piece of bread that is proof of useful work. So stick around, and we'll see you guys on my channel next week. Be there or be square. And King, hit the end button.